Lunenburg is a small town with a rich history. And it is not surprising that it has its share of local legend and ghost stories.
The town by night is just incredible. The academy is lit, the churches are lit, and the fact that you have a lantern in your hand is just a totally different atmosphere. And of course it lends itself better to ghost stories and whatnot. The fact that the cemetery itself is on Gallows Hill. Before the academy was built, there were public hangings here, and people actually say that the academy might be haunted. Where the bathroom stands in the academy is where the Bootlier brothers hung, and people say that perhaps every now and then a hand comes up with the toilet and grabs bad kids. The last person to hang here was Peter Mailman. During the summer months, Peter took his wife Mary berry picking, and apparently Mary took a basket and Peter took an axe, and Mary didn't come back, and Peter hung here on Gallows Hill. But he was not buried in the cemetery. It's sacred ground, so a murder wouldn't have been buried here, and he was buried in the backyard of the jailhouse at the time, and people say that he is still amongst us. So there are ghost stories throughout the town.
One well-known ghost story from Lunenburg is about a 14-year-old dressmaker named Sophia who died mysteriously.
She went to work for a Mrs. Trask here in Lunenburg, and Mrs. Trask was a dressmaker, and Sophia went to work as an apprentice. And one day Mrs. Trask was counting up her till, and she came up $10 short, and she accused the little girl of stealing the $10. And Sophia just couldn't convince the old lady that she wasn't a thief. Sophia's father and grandfather both had boat shops here down at the waterfront, and nobody was bringing them business because Mrs. Trask had convinced the whole town that the little girl was a thief. Her mother was convinced that her own daughter was a thief, and Sophia became very upset. She'd come to the cemetery here and sit on her sister's grave and read the Bible. She knew her Bible quite well. And she became so ill, doctors were called in, and nothing could be done, and she died. And since it was so unusual, they brought the doctors back, and there was an inquiry, and it stated that she died of a broken heart. And her stone here in the cemetery is actually a wrought iron broken heart.
The ghost stories and legends associated with Lunenburg are just stories and legends to add mystery to the town. Many people visit the town each year to admire its beautiful architecture, learn about its history and enjoy its scenic setting. If you are planning to visit Lunenburg, you will find it to be a charming and peaceful town.